On this episode of Bucks Beat, we're just talking to you, the fans. We need you to calm down. We're going to break down why. Let's get this thing going.
Lillard, step back three, on the way, got it! Damian Lillard, welcome to the Cream City. Game time has arrived.
You're listening to the Milwaukee Bucks Beat, sponsored by Hungry Lion Productions Video Production Services. Video production from start to finish. Hire them today at hungrylionproductions.com. And now, here's your host, Michael Edwards.
Welcome to the Bucks Beat. I'm your host, Michael Edwards. Bucks lose another one to the Orlando Magic, 112-97. Bucks fall to 7 in the Eastern Conference. And Bucks Twitter is in a panic. They're going crazy out there. And I need you guys to just do me a favor, okay? I'm not even breaking down this game. I wasn't even recording this podcast. But for what I have seen on Twitter, we need to talk. Okay, I get it. Hey, I'm a Bucks fan too. It sucks. But here's what we're going to do. Splash some cold water in your face. Go take a walk. Punch a cardboard box. Whatever you got to do, but you got to calm down. Bucks Twitter, I'm talking to you. Ignore everyone else right now, okay? The first thing is, anything worthwhile in life is going to take time. Period. Full stop. Think about that. Anytime you want to reach your goal in your life, no matter what it is, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, whether it's school, anything, it's going to take time. Sports aren't any different. So we need to take a breath. I'm going to break down something for you. Because we know, hindsight's 2020. The first 18 games of the 2011 NBA season with LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh. They sucked. It took the Heat 18 games to get going. We all know how that ended. All the people who are basketball fans out there know that the Heat got to the finals. They did some very good things. The Bucks are in the same situation. I'm going to break this down for you because I think you need it. You guys are panicking out there, man. We got to chill out. The playoffs are not until spring. Like, spontaneously, after seeing what I have seen on Twitter, I had to come record this show for you guys because you need something here, okay? So I'm going to break down the way the Heat season went. And look this up. It's on StatMuse. Look up Miami Heat season 2010-2011. Look at their breakdown of their schedule, okay? So they start out, they're 5-2, they're 5-3, they're 5-4, they're 6-4, they're 7-4, they're 8-4. Okay. Until they get to the 18th game, that's when they start going on a huge run. There's some really mediocre teams in there that they lost to. Now, granted, there's one argument Bucks fans you are going to have, and it's the amount of points the Bucks are giving up. It's bad. And quite frankly, I'm still giving Coach a pass, but it's dwindling. On the defensive side, there's an argument to be made about how many points teams are scoring on us. I'm going to go back to that after I'm making my point here about those championship years of the Miami Heat, okay? They lost to some really crappy teams, and they lost, some close games too. I mean, a lot of these games are close I'm looking at. But yeah, 18 games in, then they started going on a run, and they started beating teams, and I'm looking here, going into March, they still had a couple of 3-4 game losing streaks. So we got to remember to trust the process, okay? It's easy to dump on something while it's bad. We're in that bubble right now of it being bad. The other teams are talking shit on Twitter, and I know it sucks. I know we love our teams. I know it's emotional. I know it's personal in some cases, okay? I mean, for me, when I got married, we took our photos at the Deer District. It was one of the locations, at least. I love the Bucks. I get it. I understand. You are my people. I am you. Like, I totally get it. But we got to take a breath. We got to relax. We got to look at our roster. We're going to figure this out. We're going to make the postseason, and we're going to tear shit up. It's going to happen. But it's going to take time. So just calm down. Yeah, it sucks right now. And speaking of the Heat, I hate to be talking about the Miami Heat because they're one of my teams I'm not a big fan of. But look how they were last year. They were awful in the regular season. I mean, they were mediocre. They barely made the playoffs. But how did they do? We know how they did. So let's just put this into perspective, okay? We got to trust the process. We got to trust the coach. We got to trust the upper management that they hired the right people. What's happening right now are called growing pains. It's like lifting weights. You pick up a bar, you lift a weight, your muscles burn. It sucks. And that's where we're at right now. But what happens after that? It heals and it gets stronger. I mean, I'm throwing analogies at you guys so you calm down, but like, it's true. It's all around us in life. There's so many instances of good things happening, but a lot of times, you have to go through adversity. And I'd honestly rather get this out of the way now in November, December, than be in the spring and being like, okay, we don't know what we're doing. We don't know what works. By then, we will know what works because we'll have tried it. You got to trust the process. So Bucks fans, this one's for you. I'm not breaking down any games. I'm not having any clips. I just need y'all to chill out because I love you guys, okay? When you're unhappy, you definitely voice it. But it's easy to turn on your team when things are going bad. I think it's safe to say, the defense. Now, I said I'd go back to the defense, and I'm going to talk about that now. So, looking at how many points the Bucks have given up, just kind of going through all the games so far. So this is how many points their opponent has had against the Bucks. So 117, 127, 114, 130, 105, 125, 118, 124, 112. So the Bucks have the lowest they've allowed is 105, and that was to the Knicks, who during that game they only had one player who was on fire. Everyone else was kind of a fart in a windstorm, right? So yeah, the Bucks are giving up a lot of points, and this is on the personnel and it's on the coaches to figure this one out. They're not going to turn on each other. They're going to figure out what's working. And I have faith that if this keeps on going the way it's going, I have faith that the upper management of the Bucks, they're going to bring someone else in to help. They're not just going to sit on their hands. We have a window here, and got to trust the process, though. That's the bottom line of this podcast. It's the only reason I'm recording it, is just so I put these thoughts in your head and you just chill out. We want to be the intelligent ones in the room, okay? You can't expect instant potatoes here to have, put this team together, put this coaching staff together, and they're just running teams over. That's not the way it works. If you look in sports history, that has not happened. It takes time, period. That's it. Okay? So just, take a breath, calm down, grin and bear it. There's probably going to be another 10, 15 games where we're going to suck. It's just, we got to figure out what works. And the only way to do that is to figure out what works and to try it. Last night against the Magic, I was confused why the starters weren't on the floor for the fourth quarter. But when coach explained what he was trying to do, he basically said, I was trying to match their energy and, their toughness. And I wanted to put guys out there who were going to do that. That is what a coach does. All of you complained about Coach Bud not making adjustments. So I would rather coach try adjustments now in November. Say, hey, I tried it, didn't work. Okay. There was a moment there where I thought the Bucks were coming back in that game with the young Bucks on the floor because I felt that energy. So we got to trust the process. At the end of the day, we got to trust it, okay? If we get to February, we're still doing this, okay, we can sound the alarm then. Until then, I say this with love. I say this with respect. Just calm down. I feel you guys. I'm frustrated too watching the games, but go back through history. Look at some of the good teams. They went through these bumps and bruises. It happens, okay? And once they know how to play together as a unit, once our coaches know this is what works, this is what doesn't work, we're going to be fine. So that's it. That's the only reason. This was therapy. That's how this podcast was. I hope it helped you. Bucks got the Bulls on Monday. Could be ugly. The Raptors on Wednesday could be ugly. But up until last night, the Bucks have been trending in the right way. The other thing you got to consider, and I talked about this in the first podcast, every single team is giving the best effort to the Bucks because coming into the season, they were the favorites to win the whole thing. So when you are playing a good team, you don't want to have egg on your face. You want to show up. So it's not like we're some mediocre team and teams are giving a half effort. We are getting a full effort from every team playing us. That's another thing you got to consider. They know we're good. We know we're good. We're just going to figure it out. Okay? That's it. Appreciate you. We'll see you on the next one.